Well, I'm not licking it, I just sit on it. Yeah, people put it, I don't know my mom's deal. I never wondered. They're playing all around the world, and you just put sponge on it.
Well, I'm not sure if Rabbi's waiting for me, so I will start the announcements. Good Shabbos, everyone. Welcome. And I don't know if you're like me, I took all the winter blankets off, I put the sweaters away, the coats away, and this week I pulled them all back out of the closet, so we're braving the Las Vegas cold, such as it is, right? In a week it's going to be 100, and we'll be going, what is going on? So anyway, good Shabbos. It's nice to see everybody here, like I said, braving our cold streak. So we do have a few announcements. Like I said, in case anyone doesn't know, I see some new faces. I'm Jackie Rosen. I'm the Temple President, and very proud to be so. We have a great staff and board and members, and it's a joy to lead them. But I do want to say that this Wednesday, April 9th, the seniors group, I thought I saw Joyce, there she is, Joyce Herlins, who runs our seniors group. Our Cantor preschool kids are going to come and sing for the seniors at lunch. And our guest speakers, Rabbi Rubin, will talk to you about everything you wanted to know about Passover, but we're afraid to ask. So if you RSVP to Joyce, I'm sure that we're going to have a great time. That's next Wednesday. And speaking of Passover, we do have a few different seders for you. Sisterhood, we have our Sisterhood president here, Janet. They're hosting their annual all-women seder on Thursday, April 17th. Next Gen, if you're in the Next Gen, I guess that's the 20s and 30s. That's like the next gen there. They're having their Seder on Saturday, April 19th, and the Social Action Committee, and Cindy Jensen is here. You see her there. She's the head of our Social Action. They're going to have a wonderful, it's an interfaith Seder, and on Saturday the 12th, and I think, what do you already have? About 60 people RSVP'd for that, so it should be really, really special and lovely, and you can talk to Cindy about that after if you're interested in any of those. We're also offering a Taste of Judaism at the end of this month on April 29th at 7 o'clock. And we have a couple other things going on before we have, they're waiting for me to come in. We have Maxine and a new accompanist coming. But I will tell you, on April 25th, you can see Ira and the Shabbat Tones, and their last one of the season, the Shabbat B'Yachad, and that ought to be pretty fun too. So I'll leave the rest of announcements for Rabbi Axelrod, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
you for being so patient. You all waited for me. I appreciate it.
Anyone can big bomb. This should be the title of a book. Anyone can big bomb.
Good Shabbat. Good thing to work. Good Shabbos, everyone. So today, as we say goodbye to the week, we say hello to Shabbat. We say hello to some new friends. We have a new accompanist tonight, a dear friend of mine, Ricky Reinhardt. Does everyone say Shabbat Shalom to Ricky? So this is his first Shabbat service, so we're making him play for his call-up, okay? That's right. So we've known each other a couple of years in different contexts, but well, Ricky, you want to tell them a little bit about your background so they know where you play, you've been to Israel, the whole bit?
Yeah, when I was 13, I studied piano performance and did my first tour of Europe and Israel as a concert pianist at 13. And subsequently toured 4 more times throughout Europe and also in South America. And then went on to school, graduated with my degree in piano performance and did some private teaching, married, 2 kids, not much practice time anymore.
So even if we do get bomb tonight, we told him it does get harder. We want him to be challenged, okay? So he's also going to be playing for us throughout the summer and the high holidays, and of course as our new cantor comes with Cantor Jess as well. So I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again tonight. So before every service, I'd like to just take a few moments to say a prayer. So imagine, if you will, that you were with me and we formed a circle. So to kind of get into that concept, I just want you all, if you would, just to stand. And close your eyes. You think about the week that was, all the different things that pulled upon you. Sometimes those things are your work. Sometimes it's your family. Sometimes it's your own personal sense of want, the things that you don't have time for. But Shabbat is a time when God pulls on us. So we let those things go so that we have God time. We have a time to reflect upon the peace that is God, our Maker, our Creator, and the source of our strength. Rabbanu Shalom, Master of the universe, we thank you for bringing us together in worship this evening. We ask that you bring this congregation together with a sense of joy, and that the love of Shabbat brings us a sense of peace this evening. Instill in us always a sense not of joy, only of joy in the community, but a sense of joy in having you in our lives, not only tonight, but throughout the week. May this be a Shabbat filled with blessing. Let us say, Amen. So delighted to have Maxine with us, the soloist this evening, and she is standing upright. She's not hopping. She's got her cast off. Are you ready to do, like, a dance yet? I mean, all right, we're going to start off with the song. Okay, so that's good. So, since we talked a little bit about joy, how about a song, Ma Yafa Hanyo? How good and happy and joyous is this day.
Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
person that you don't know, maybe they're next to you or behind you, introduce yourself, wish you good Shabbos. If you know them, just ignore them. Only usually.
What is your name? Nice to meet you, Lennon. My name is Linda.
Now that you are all best of friends, call upon Donna Ego for the mitzvah of killing the spotlight. Page 120 in your Siddur. Mishkan Siddur. 121. Give light to all who behold them. So may we in our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, yitzivanu l'chagim ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who house us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chagim ner shel Shabbat.
So what month are we in now? April. So anyone who has the foolishness to have a birthday in April, come on up and join us for the Kiddush, Atala, and the April birthday. April birth, not a single April birthday. Del? Me. Roberta? How about any children from the religious school? Come on up. Any children? Let's try to do better, shall we?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, Ki hu yom jachira lemikrae kodesh, zeter etziat Mitzrayim, kivanu echota, ve'otanu ki
We continue on page 127. As we read responsibly, there are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. Together.
On Shabbat we seek not to inquire.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. 142, we go together. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon.
Turn to page 263 for the Chatzi Touch.
Take them with my
majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. So help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding work.
Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ari V'Aravim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah Mitzvot Chukim Mishpatim Otanu Lemadetam Akein Adonai Eloheinu B'Shokmeinu U'Chumeinu Nasiach B'Chukecha V'Nismach B'Divrei Toratecha U'B'Mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki הם חיינו ואורך יומנו והם נגן יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Amen. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושינתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך ושרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת
269, we read responsibly. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp, as imperfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
For long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn God's presence redeems time and event. We celebrate His power that makes for freedom.
Yeah,
Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice when you're around. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness, for being pleased with the seventh day you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. Let us rise for the Tefillah, page 273.
Adonai sefotatita ufia kitahilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol, v'Sacher Hadei Avot v'Imahot, Ulevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Edrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Rab Le'Hoshia, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Lerofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayeh Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Givorot, Umidom Melah, Melech Mimi, Umachayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
So we continue silently at our own individual pace from 277 through page 284. As you complete your readings at your own pace at that time, be seated. Continue quietly. 371 is our Shabbat prayer. A time in our service in which we reflect upon those who are in need of our prayers. We think of them, they're very much a part of our lives. We pray for strength, healing, hope as they face illness. We think of those who face addictions, those who face mental illness, those who struggle with the every day, that our prayers will remind them too that they are not alone. For those who are caregivers, we ask that God strengthen them as well, with patience, with love, discernment. So if you'd like to say the names of people special to you, simply stand and say their names at this time. As many names as you would like. Now we as a community, we stand in solidarity with them and we sing together when we should go. Good Shabbos again, everyone. So, before I begin my sermon, we'll just ad-lib a little bit so I can test a few ideas that I'm trying out. When I began my career, there was a rabbi emeritus. I was about 24 years of age. He was about 80, very prominent rabbi. And so the rabbi emeritus sought to school me on ways of PR and publicity. He would say, in my days, son, my wife and I would literally go out front, and there was, in front of Temple Israel in Columbus, Ohio, a sign. And every week we would go out and we would put new letters and a title of the sermon. And I think that worked in that day. Well, you know, from time to time people say, why don't you announce the title of a sermon? And usually I don't, because sometimes I don't know the title till I'm standing right here, okay? Even if it's written out, titles. But I thought I would try something out. Cantor Jess has already inspired me to get a little bit more Facebook savvy. So, in all sincerity, those of you who are on Facebook, just by a show of hands, raise your hand. If you're not a friend of mine, all right? So now send me a friend request, because I'm going to try to get as many people as possible to be a part of my network. And that way, when there are good things happening at the temple, or I have an idea that I think is just so profound at 3 in the morning, you know, it will just beep your computer. But seriously, so send me a little friend request, and we're going to keep increasing this network. And out of curiosity, since I did announce this sermon, how many of you actually saw it on Facebook? Okay. So that's good. All right. Huh? What's that?
Use Twitter for those
Twitter?
big one-liners. It's a one-line thing. Facebook is
Out
not.
out of curiosity, how many people here do Twitter? So we're not, the kids are doing Instagram, right? So the next thing is, I guess, Instagram and Twitter. I'm not quite there, but I'm working on Facebook. By the time I master it, we'll be on to the next new thing. That's right. All right, I'm just testing out some ideas, but seriously, let's put it on Facebook. Let's help increase, at really no cost to the synagogue, a little bit about what we're doing in our Facebook presence. So every once in a while, people will ask me this question: how do you and Rabbi Reuben decide who will be delivering the sermon each week? I suppose the answer is, on the surface, pretty simple. Perhaps it is as simple as flipping a coin. We look at the temple schedule, our schedules, and then we divide things up accordingly. Tonight, Rabbi Reuben's a little bit under the weather, so she's in our thoughts. She's got, that upper respiratory, so we hope that she is better very soon. But every once in a while, when we do have the opportunity to flip that spiritual coin, I wonder if tonight she had that coin rigged. The expression, tails I win, heads you lose? Think about that. Tails I win, heads you lose. For you see, this week's Torah portion is that dreaded portion called Metzora. Every bar mitzvah boy has cringed at having this as his portion. Every bat mitzvah girl has made a face of disgust upon learning that the theme of this week's Torah portion is leprosy. Or we could have called it the Clearasil Torah portion. How do we find spiritual meaning in talking about this disease? So I thought about it, and I suppose we begin by understanding our relationship with disease itself. In more modern times, we understand disease as a result of bacteria or viruses, or perhaps it's the result of our body attacking its own immune system, or the result of bad habits such as smoking or eating the wrong foods. And of course, there is that catch-all when doctors are truly stumped. It's the result of stress, right? But the ancients did not have this understanding. In their world, disease was a reflection of one's moral character. If one was afflicted with disease, then that meant that the person had done something to displease the gods, or in the case of the Israelites, God. The most famous example in the Torah is that of Miriam, the sister of Moses. She becomes jealous of Moses and sought to undermine his authority by offering disparaging remarks about his wife, who Miriam called a Cushite woman. That is a person who was an outsider and not a true Israelite. According to the Bible, she was punished by God with leprosy. And it was only Moses' intervention that saved her. In what is possibly the only recorded prayer in the Torah, Moses says, El na rafan Allah, please God, heal her now. We who live today read such biblical stories as often antiquated. We are so much more sophisticated and knowledgeable today. We understand disease and illness in a completely different way. Or do we? From my experience, despite the thousands of years that separate us and our ancestors, we really haven't changed all that much. We don't wander in the desert or wear sandals and tunic-like clothing. But deep down, when we are ill, really ill, or when our loved ones are ill, we lash out and ask, why did God do this to me? In performing my pastoral duties, I hear this expression all the time, every week. And I don't view it merely as a rhetorical question. Yes, there are those who ask the question out of anger at the universe, anger at their bad luck. They look to blame someone or something rather than either themselves for not taking care of themselves, or the disease that ravages their body, often for reasons that we still do not understand. But there are more than a few who take the question very seriously. When they look at me, they want to know, why is God punishing them? why me? Or as they look at their loved one lying there suffering without dignity, they wonder at the justice of the world. For if there were a God, then surely this would not be happening. In the hospital room, all I can do is be present and offer warm words of comfort the best I can. It is not my job to apologize for God or to explain why there is injustice in the world, especially when I am in the presence of such sorrow and grief. But tonight is perhaps a bit different. Tonight perhaps there are those who will listen, and when the time comes, and it comes for us all, it will bring you a depth of understanding and comfort. So hear me, please, as I say these words. There is no connection between our moral life and disease. God does not punish us through illness. There are evil people who live a long life, and there are good people who die all too young. While our actions can contribute to our health is not a reflection of God's favor or disfavor of who we are or are not. To me, this is so very important for everyone here to understand, really understand, and embrace and believe, accept, and know. So important. Because no matter how charmed a life we might live, at some point our bodies will give out. And if we have friends and family, and I'm not just talking Facebook, then something eventually will happen to them. It's inevitable. For that is the way of the world. If we could live forever, well, that would be one thing, but we can't. And what if we could live forever, but only on the condition that no new life would be born? Would we make that trade-off? If we could live without disease on the condition that our world would grow increasingly crowded, and we would die instead in competition for scarce resources, would we want this? There is a logic to our world, but this logic has its sorrow and it has its pain. And we all go through it. And some of us deal with that better than others. And I suppose that is my point tonight. For you see, I can talk with two people who are afflicted with identical diseases. One person feels abandoned and punished, and the other person understands the tenuous nature of life and embraces with joy every moment that they have left. One lashes out with anger, and the other uses the time allotted to affirm loved ones and help their own family through this transition. Years ago, I remember visiting this lovely lady. She had a terminal form of cancer. She had 3 daughters. They were so attached to her, and the thought of their children growing up without their grandma was unbearable. Unbearable. And they called me for solace, for support, for understanding. But she was so beautiful of heart and spirit that she was a comfort to her daughters. She was a mother, not just a patient, not just someone dying. She was a teacher. She was the fireplace that warmed that family and brought them close, even as she approached death. So she hit upon this idea that she would make a video every day, and she would say something to her daughters. She sought to give them advice, recipes, stories, humor, philosophy, a bit of who she was, so, well, they could play it and listen and see her whenever they wanted. And when those grandchildren grew up, they would know her. I suspect that this very process was something cathartic for her, because there is one thing that all of us want, and that is to be remembered, to know that our lives mattered. I don't know if her family members ever watched those videos. We lost touch with each other. I know that I made some videos of my dad before he died. I know I never watched them. I guess in my mind, to watch those videos would somehow bring me sorrow. On the other hand, my three sisters watch them, and it brings them joy. We are also different in our responses to grief, but what my sisters and I both share is our desire to remember our father and allow his values to live on. And I suspect that this is what transpired in this woman's family as well. We learn that disease may take life, but it need not destroy the relationship we have with our loved ones. For Judaism teaches that love is ultimately stronger. It is ultimately stronger than death. And so I want to make one more point, and it's about love. When we associate illness as a punishment by God, it becomes nearly impossible to love God. When we associate illness as a punishment by God, it becomes nearly impossible to love God. In fact, it becomes very easy to hate God, to deny God, or at the very least to feel that God is unjust and without mercy. And while these feelings are natural and so very common as we seek answers to our pain, what I want to point out is something so important. For when we lash out in anger and in association of the injustice and punishment with our moral behavior, which we can all find in our lives, the things that we regret, we create a barrier between us and God. And we no longer have God as a companion to help us through our sorrow. We cry at our loss, and so too does God. For God created a world that has rules that even God is bound by. But we are blessed in that God has given us minds and creativity to find cures for diseases that were once uncurable. For treatments that provide us with comfort and care where once we only had pain. And our faith in God and in God's ultimate goodness allows us to believe that despite everything, God is with us, with our loved ones, and that we are not alone. We are not alone. And perhaps most importantly of all, when we recognize that disease is not a punishment by God, then we understand that we are worthy of God's love. May all who gather here find in life meaning. May we find God's presence as a constant companion. And may our faith sustain us through the vicissitudes of life. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Shalom, Israel.
Continue on 586 as we rise for the Alleluia. 586.
Shalom, asaru keko ye harasot, velo samanu kenish bechor hadama, shalom samcha kenu kahem, vegoravenu kechohamonam, vanaknu korim, umishtakavim umodim, lifnei Ne'ema, Vehaya Adonai, L'melech ha'aretz, Bayom ha'u, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo
Please be seated. Our cottage prayer is found on page 598. It's a time in which we recall those who have died in recent days and whose memory is still with us, and those who have died in years past. So we say cottage for Naomi Cherry, Larry Robbins, Jacobo Gassman, Lee Zechter, Jack Jacobs, Francis Carter Ramsberg, Linda Ferguson, Diana De Silva, Cecily Green, Eric Garshovsky, Avi Zubli, and Pat Burke. We recall with the preciousness of memory the Yortsites of Benjamin Arco, Lila Claire Bakra, Sonia Block, Anna Brown, David Brown, Max Cantor, Richard Cohn, Earl Davidson, Ida Fisher, Helen Flatow, Murray Gowan, Esther Goldfarb, Simi Green, Margaret Greenberg, Lloyd Katz, Jack Priceman, Bess Kurtzman, Samuel Lee, Meyer Lewis, Phil Light, Ellen Marbos, Ronald Jack Miller, Jeffrey Olderman, Douglas Ritchie, Gazella Rose, Helen Samuel, Isidore Schumann, and Harry Shiro. Theodore Singer, Ada Solomon, Hermione Markowitz Stern, Harold Stralzer, Terrell Tucker, Andrew Urban Sr., Florence Weinstein, Dorothy Weiss, Ashley Williams, Benno Wilton, Francis Wright, William Roger Zerl. If you would like to recall the name of someone who was mentioned or not mentioned for Kaddish or Yortzeit, please stand and say their name.
Harold Rickio. Eric Knudsen. Nathan and Helen Coleman. Howard Sontag.
We think of these and others who have touched our hearts. We rise to recite our Kaddish prayer. 598. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabah, Yalmad yidrach v'yutei yamlik malkutei, v'chayechon v'nomechon v'ayechon beit Yisrael, v'adalav v'zman karim v'yivru ameni, yishmei Rabah v'gorach v'olam homed omayim, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yishtahar v'yishronam v'yisnaseh, Yitzhakar, Yisrael, Yisrael, Shmei, Kushar, Rifu, Re'elah, Mikol, Yerchata, V'shirata, Tushvechata, V'nechamata, Damiram, Yomah, V'yivru, Amen. Yesh Marava, Mishlamai, V'chaim, Aleinu Yal, Kol Yisrael, V'yivru, Amen. Osei Shalom, V'nromah, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu Yal, Kol Yisrael, V'yivru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. May be seated. Well, we have a mighty fine Omek Shabbat reading us in just a few moments, but now a word from our sponsor. So just to remind you of a couple things, we have on April 25th, what's going to be happening? Men's Club Shabbat, Shabbat B'Yachad, and the Shabbatones. All right, so they're not the second Friday, they're going to be on April 25th. It will be the last Shabbaton service of the seasons, although there is no special guest star singing. Ira, you guys are pulling together, you're dividing up those parts, and you're going to shine bright.
Can't wait for everybody to be there.
Excellent. April 25th. And in May 2nd, services will be, and on April 25th, they'll be at 6:15, and you should sign up for the dinner afterwards. On May 2nd, we're going to be honoring our teachers and our religious school, so we've got to make sure all the kids come, preschool all the way up to 12th grade. And then it'll also have a special on that. So it'll start at 6:15 earlier for the families. On the 9th of May, we are bringing in a klezmer Yiddish band. All right? So they're actually from the Bay Area. They're from my home congregation, my dad's congregation. And so I don't know if it's their version of the Shabbatones, but they're cantorial soloists. They have a cantor and also a cantorial soloist because it's a large congregation. And she started this klezmer Yiddish band. So she happens to be from Las Vegas, and she's going to rock our house. So you guys all going to make a point to be there at all those special services. And I think, was there anything else?
Yeah. April 17th, we have the Sisterhood Seder, 17th, and you should get all the notice. It's $10 person, and it's a very nice.
Is that matzah only for $10?
Almost matzah only. It's not a full dinner, but
Oh,
we
no.
give you a nice nosh.
Go ahead.
Homemade desserts.
There you go.
Homemade desserts.
Oh, yes, and they are marvelous.
That is great. So come get in.
We hope you all will join us.
So that's coming up before we know it, right? You said the 17th.
And there's actually some forms out there on the desk. You can take them, fill them out, and that's your reservation.
All right. May 23rd is confirmation. We'll be promoting a little bit later. But the whole month of May, you just have to come every week. So let's hear it for not only Maxine, but Ricky, very first service. Let's try a little something, Ricky. Just tell them a little flair. Go ahead. That was his version of He Name Atov. We're very fortunate to have him on board. Thank you so much for being with us. So now we go to our final song. Say shalom.
Say shalom.
Say shalom.
Page 647.